be able to play tomorrow and who might sit out? And did you add to the group today from the group that's been playing practice?
We did add to the group today. We had almost a full roster at practice today. Alfonso McKinney is still out with an excused absence. And as far as tomorrow goes, Anthony and Lebron will not play. And some of the new guys are still to be determined. We haven't made final decisions on which guys are going to play which games, other than Anthony and LeBron will not play tomorrow.
Let's go to Dan Wilkie.
Frank, what does a successful preseason opener consist of? Obviously, it's not necessarily winning or losing. What would that need to happen tomorrow night for it to be a success?
For me, it's really just about our guys getting some opportunities to grow their conditioning, to get used to the game environment of no fans in the building in an arena. And for our guys to get their feet wet in terms of the habits that we're trying to build in training camp. It really isn't about winning and losing. Especially this early on in the preseason, it's about getting everybody the right opportunities, enough work but not too much work, and that's what's going to be a successful game for me.
Bill Moore.
Hey Frank, I know it's super early with this group, but it's going to be super early with this group when you start the regular season also. In these opening days, have you identified like a defining characteristic that you think this team can have? I know obviously the team's going to be a reflection of you and LeBron and Anthony, but is there something specific that with the new guys you would define as a defining characteristic?
We're still going to try to play Lakers basketball. We're going to play up tempo, and we're going to have a high care factor on the defensive end. We're going to try to play harder than our opponent every night, more physical. I do like the IQ and passing of this year's group. The ability to move the basketball is something that sticks out, and I think our speed sticks out. With regard to someone like Dennis Schroeder being on the floor, for big minutes. He enhances our speed on both sides of the ball. Like our containment ability, our ability to fly around the floor the way we did it in the playoffs last year, as well as his ability to push in the open court and get into the paint, is really a different dynamic for us.
Dave.
Frank, do you have an opinion of what you're going to do with your team if and when the vaccine is available, and how you'll talk to the guys and how you would try to allow for individual agency when it comes to something like that versus trying to get as many people vaccinated as possible?
Yeah, to me that's still down the road. We still have a lot of conversations that need to still take place with our medical team, the medical community. It's obviously, the vaccine is going to go to frontline workers and people of high risk, far before anyone else. So, we really haven't had those conversations, and that's still down the road for me.
Allie Clifton.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. I feel like in years past, when you guys are going through training camp and that first preseason game, finally being able to see another opponent comes up, there's an excitement because you're ready to go against someone else but yourselves. How different is that feeling? How would you describe what that feeling is like as you guys are already facing an opponent tomorrow?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's different. It's a shorter off season for us. A shorter training camp for us with regard to when the first game is, what the build up to this camp has looked like. Not doing double sessions because of concerns of COVID and the testing, and obviously where our guys are at with it from a conditioning standpoint. So I don't really feel like this year has that same kind of, man, I can't wait to bang on another team because we've been beating ourselves up so much in camp. We've really just been trying to bring them along at the right pace. And, our guys have had a really good spirit about that, and they're eager to play. To play in a preseason game, but I don't think it has that same kind of man. I just hope I can't wait to play against a different team.
Mike Trudeau.
Hey Frank, this may be a question for after tomorrow as well, but just wondering what you anticipate about playing in Staples Center as opposed to the games in the bubble, and how you think that mix of being in your home arena but not having it be the typical experience it's going to be, and if there's anything that you've mentioned along those lines as to game plan and such.
Yeah, I mean, I think there will be more of a home court advantage for teams this season than there was in the bubble because of travel more than the in-game environment. Obviously the arena will feel more comfortable to us than to our opponents, but with no fans there, you're not really getting that energy differential. As to what to expect for what it's going to feel like, who knows? I mean, the league has said that some of the arenas are going to have the pumped-in noise, but not necessarily all of them. I don't even know what we're doing, to be honest with you. I haven't really been paying attention to that. But it's definitely going to feel different than the bubble. It's just a far bigger building, more space. So we'll just have to see how it feels.
Well, we're going to take two more for you, Frank. Melissa Rowland.
Hey Frank, I have kind of a random question for you. Do you have any PTSD from being in the bubble, like certain foods that you haven't been able to eat since, or activities that you haven't wanted to do, or conversely certain things that you've needed to do every day since?
That's tough. I put my watch up to every door that I try to walk in, because that's how you got in all your that was your room key, was that little watch band. So every time I try to go in a room, I put my watch up to it. I'd say that's probably the only thing. I mean, the food restrictions were difficult, but I'm happy to be out in a more normal environment.
All right, we're going to take one more. Dave has a follow-up. Dave?
Just following up on Trudeau's question about being in Staples Center, have you thought about how you're going to approach the regular season, maybe have shoot-arounds at Staples or anything like that to try to get the guys accustomed to playing in an empty arena, or have you kind of gotten that far down the line yet?
Not really. I mean, we'll have to see how this group, responds to the work that we're doing. I really don't think I'll have a different approach based on the fans with regard to whether I'll have shoot-arounds here or afternoon walkthroughs at Staples. I mean, I think it's just what our group is going to need at that time. I will say that this weekend we're going to do one of each just to get a feel for that. We'll have a morning shoot-around tomorrow, and on Sunday, because it's an early game, but we would probably do this on a normal Sunday. We would have a walkthrough at Staples, so our guys would kind of get used to both formats. And but I don't think the fanless environment will impact whether or not we're having shoot-arounds.